Running a marathon is no easy task, and if you do finish, it can be one of the most rewarding things that you have ever done in your life if you are prepared. Joining us this morning to talk about the tricks of the trade, so to speak, is Dr. Robert Truax, a sports medicine physician with University Hospitals. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Cleveland Marathon, I mean, it's a huge deal here.
Excellent,
I know
yes.
people in the studio here are going to be running it. How scientific is a marathon?
How scientific? There's a lot of studies on on how to prepare for that. And there's a lot of things to be done. Plenty of research, a lot of understanding of how to get ready for the marathon, and there's plenty of stuff we can talk about.
Yeah, because people just don't run, I know that you have to run certain times, certain lengths, certain days, but there's a lot to it. So we're going to just get right into the tricks of the trade for the Cleveland Marathon. The first one is get 7 hours of sleep.
And I recommend to do this actually a few days, up to 5, maybe 7 days, maybe start tonight, to get that 7 hours of sleep, and then wake up at the same time that you're going to plan on waking up for the marathon on Sunday.
And it's going to be
so that you can get used to it, because there are people who train actually in the afternoons or evenings, so the morning run is not a typical time for them.
For those who might get really excited and have a hard time sleeping, sleep aids, would that actually deter?
I would recommend against those sleep aids. The night before the race is probably not going to be as concerning, as long as you've been getting the sleep up until that time for the 7 days beforehand.
Okay, this next one, eat 1 hour before the marathon. And before we went on, I was like, I know people who've drank beer or had pasta the night before because they need the carbs. That's not what, an hour before, you're not going to sit down with a plate of pasta, are you?
No, you're not. And this is where you can use the getting up early. Wake up in the morning, go ahead, eat something with a little combination of carbohydrates and protein, peanut butter sandwich, a nut butter sandwich for those who are allergic to peanuts, yogurt, maybe a bowl of cereal. Get used to what you're going to eat before you run, and so use that early waking to get ready for that.
And these are like the night before, the day of. All these tips. This is so people, I want to make sure people do know this, that it's not like the Monday before, not doing this today. But the next one is hydrate to a point of clear yellow urine.
Correct. And get used to doing that throughout the day. Starting today, make sure that your urine today, tomorrow, up until the day is clear yellow. That means you've been drinking and hydrating yourself. And then doing that, actually take about half a liter of water before the race. And this is the way to get used to doing this, is because what if you're going to be urinating? Marathoners are worried about urinating during the course. There are porta potties throughout. What do you do about that? Well, get used to doing that by drinking in the morning in this first 7 days as you're waking up early to prepare for it.
And a lot of hardcore marathon runners, they have aches and pains, and even the novices have aches and pains. So they might want to go and take pain meds, but you're saying do not take pain meds?
I particularly am concerned about people taking ibuprofen or naproxens. These are these NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs used for inflammation. However, because they also can impact with one's fluid balance and can so if you're not hydrated enough before the race and you start taking those, that can actually impact your fluid balance.
So even Advil?
Advils.
Because that's an ibuprofen?
Yeah,
really?
That's an ibuprofen. I would discourage taking that even the night before. The problem, too, is it can mask a pain. There are 2 types of pains that can happen during the marathon. The first one is the limping pain, the one that just, you get this huge muscle cramp, and that's a concern about heat injury, particularly later in the day. You don't want to ignore that later in the race. The other aches are going to be a little sprain or a pulled muscle. Those are things, if you start limping, you're probably going to have to hold out on that. But there's also the other ache, which is just going to happen because you run. At about 16 to 20 miles, there's just this ache that happens. And
I honestly could not even fathom running 16 into it.
So that little ache is going to happen no matter if you take the medicines or you don't.
We have about a minute left, and I want to hit these next 2. Don't drink a lot of caffeine. A lot of people are trying to do coffee and Red Bulls so they have the energy.
Absolutely. Only 60 milligrams of caffeine, which is a cup of coffee, just under a small cup of Red Bull. Red Bull is about 80 milligrams. Caffeine has been shown to be helpful as an ergogenic aid to help with that, but mostly with sprints. with bursts. This is a 3-4 hour, 5-hour event. You don't need that.
Right.
But too much caffeine can make your heart race too fast. You don't need that already.
And lastly, relax your breathing and be confident.
Be confident. Be confident in your training. Be confident in your goals. Know the goals that you're going to have. Are you just trying to complete it? Are you trying to Boston qualify?
And it's supposed to be between 75 and 79 the day of the race.
Right, yeah, and
I mean, a lot of people, that's not warm, but for a marathon, how would you say
60 degrees is we're thinking is the overnight low, so that's a good start-off point. Wear loose clothing. Make sure you wear loose clothing and hydrate well, about 2 cups every 20-25 minutes of water or Powerade.
Doctor, thank you so
My
much.
pleasure.
Wonderful information. So for all you runners out there, there's the information right there. Contact a good doctor, University Hospitals, Department of Family Medicine, 216-844-3944. Well, coming up on Everybody today, we're going to tell you how to prepare healthy meals. There's baked oatmeal muffins. And Joe headed out to Playhouse Square to preview the new show, Come Fly Away. We'll take a look when we come back after these messages.
Hi, I'm Bill. And I'm Mike. We've been friends since second grade, and 10 years ago we found